Now, Sankalp is the country's largest forum for social entrepreneurs in the country. And this year round, within the forum, we saw 4 of the country's largest social entrepreneurs making a pitch to top venture capitalists. Sudhir Syal gets us the story.
Sankalp Summit 2012. The premier event for social enterprises kicked off with over 400 attendees, both from the entrepreneurial and the investment ecosystems. The event saw both panel discussions with topics like reimagining capitalism, the urban business model conundrum, and an open house on technology for development. One of the highlights of the event was the Sankalp Shootout with 4 startups making their pitches to investors Surya Manta of Omidyar Network, Sarat Naru of Venture East, and Vineet Rai. The first startup to take the stage, Avas.
I've invented Avas, a device which helps people with speech disabilities to communicate. There are about 100 million people in the world today who can't speak because of various disabilities. For example, people with cerebral palsy, spastic disabilities, who are not able to speak because they don't have muscle control. Or people with autism, which is 1 in 85 people in the world today, children in the world today, who can't speak because they have difficulty with language, with communication. This is Avas. It's a touchscreen tablet, and it works by converting pictures into speech. So by pressing different pictures, for example, this is in Malayalam, it would speak out different things. For example, if I wanted to say that I'm in pain, I'd press, for example, I'm in pain. So it says, I am in pain, please change my position. For people with cerebral palsy, the same interface would work with switches that can be connected to different parts of the body. So by using leg movements, by using head movements, by using arm movements, they can control the same device. We want to scale Avas. We know it works. It's an invention that's proved that it works. Now we want to take it all over the world, all over the country.
I'd like to throw it open to our panel here. Vineet?
My question is, what is it, to what extent can you bring down the price further?
We sell the device bundled with the app and with the support and with the accessories and everything for 30,000 rupees in India. We expect that in a couple of years, tablets will cost 5,000, 6,000 rupees.
Sure.
And the rest of it is software, which really, we would like to sell at a price which will reach that 100 million people that exist in the world today who can't speak.
Great. So you seem to actually be somebody who's interested in developing products, which is what you've been saying for the last 15 minutes. But then the skill sets for that is very different from actually scaling the product and making it successful. Do you have a management team that actually has both the skills at the same time?
I've got a small team. We have about 15 people working at Invention Labs right now. But I've got some very senior people in sales. My manager of business development and sales has about 20 years of experience doing sales. I will put most of the money that I raise through Avas into sales and marketing.
So it's time for scores. 7 from Vineet, Sharat, 8 and 8.
Avas scored a total of 23 points out of the maximum of 30. The next startup on stage, Ampere Vehicles.
I wanted to present about my venture Ampere Vehicles in a different perspective that's happening in the emerging markets. There are women using our electric bikes in a different perspective. This lady now distributes tea to 5 factories and has enhanced her income and earned her livelihood. Her daughters are pursuing master degree education. For our customers are primarily people that need a basic transport alternative. They do not care about style, look or speed. All they need is a basic transport alternative that will help them to move from point A to point B with comfort, convenience and freedom. With that, I just wanted to let you know that the vehicle running cost is absolutely cheaper. The capital cost is about 25% cheaper than a petrol bike. And then the running cost is 1/10 of petrol. And even if you have to take a battery replacement after 18,000 kilometers of use, you still save about 21,000 rupees. And that's the product that we're talking about.
How do you differentiate vis-a-vis not just the cars alone, but there's a plethora of models and companies making these kind of vehicles all over the world, of course starting with China, which is a huge manufacturer. When will recharging stations become more popular, more commonly available and so on? But the first question would be the primary concern that I would have.
In terms of what differentiates us, we are the first company in India to develop the key components of electric bike. There are 4 major components of electric bike: battery, charger, motor and controller. Battery we get locally from local sources. Charger is the first one we developed in the year 2009 because when many people imported kits and sold in India, the China chargers wouldn't understand the Indian power conditions. So what happened? The battery would bulge and the vehicle wouldn't move. The infrastructure I don't think is a problem, because I don't think China has every street don't have recharging stations in China. Okay. As long as our bikes have a pluggable batteries.
On the face of it, it's cheaper, it doesn't affect the environment. We should all be going on to electric bikes.
But I think there's a more fundamental marketing issue.
Right.
I'm sure, Himlata, there aren't people lining up to buy this product on a daily basis. So that's the big question.
I'd like to move towards the investors for their scores. That is 7. We'll give it 6. 8.
Ampere scored a total of 21 points out of 30. The next startup to take the stage, Driftf.
My name is Peter Frickman. I'm the founder and CEO of Driftf. We make affordable drip irrigation for small plot farmers. The problem is that commercial drip irrigation, which has been around for over 50 years, is expensive and complex. It doesn't scale down to the needs of small plot farmers. Our solution is the most affordable and appropriate drip irrigation for small plot farmers. It runs on low pressure, it has very low incidence of clogging, and it can scale down to the size of this room. This product costs as little as 10,000 rupees per acre, and we're selling it all over Maharashtra and now India. So the key is our innovative manufacturing. So we've developed a precision laser manufacturing technology which allows us to put everything that we need for a drip irrigation factory and put that anywhere in the world for less than 25 lakh rupees. And the result is precision drip irrigation that has visible uniformity.
You mentioned your biggest competitor is flood irrigation, right? What about other drip irrigation initiatives in this country? How would you compare in terms of pricing and quality?
That's a great question. So our product is up to 5 times less expensive than commercial drip irrigation. So a typical drip irrigation system would cost 50,000 rupees or more per acre. Our system costs as little as 10,000 rupees per acre.
How defensible is your IP? Is this technology innovation sufficiently, complicated that it cannot be replicated?
This is not an IP play. So if you look at commercial drip irrigation, successful drip irrigation companies, their success is not based on IP, but rather on operations and execution.
Great, fantastic. We'll have our scores then. 8 from Surya, 8 from Sharat, and 8 again from Vinny.
Driftf scored a total of 24 points out of 30. The next startup to take the stage, Eram Scientific.
I am representing Eram Scientific. We designed, developed and selling country's first fully automatic public toilet that takes care of entry to sewage automation, and it's a unique design. A lot of components we developed indigenously, and it's a patent pending product, and it is a unique business model that generates income from advertisement, coin collection, and there is a clear ROI planned for the implementation agency. There are enough options for energy saving, sensor control lights, fans and audio instructions, and it is connected via GPRS to a central control room. You can get into the toilet, see the health status, and it will generate reports on various components. There are self-checking capabilities.
I want to go to Vineet. Vineet, you have a similar company in your portfolio, which is Shramik Sanitation, right? How would you compare the approaches by Eram as opposed to Shramik?
So you are in a business where actually there is no problem of demand. It's a daily chore, but the price that I see
is too high at this point.
It looks to me, but there must be some explanation behind it.
Right. So just take us through how the model works exactly. So let's assume you're reaching out to a client. Yeah. There is a one-time fee, plus there's a recurring cost, plus there's an opportunity for the client to make money out of this.
Pool model we are charging too. It's almost similar to a physical toilet.
Okay.
Coming to the
which is how much?
2 lakhs rupees per system.
Okay.
And
which is advertising free.
Advertisement they have to take here.
Okay.
And the public model is nearly 3 lakhs with the STP unit. Okay. Because nowhere our country don't have much sewage treatment facilities. So we will take care of the sewage treatment plant along with the system that build at 4 lakh rupees system.
But when you say you will take care of the sewage treatment plant, would you actually dispose of into it, or you will set up a sewage treatment plant?
No, it will recycle in the unit. So it's such a compact plant. It will go to 2 chambers, and with the bacteria is the process, and the water can be recycled back. In 3 months' time, we need to just remove some sludge out of that. So that's
basically the unit is actually has a STP inbuilt in it.
Yes.
Time to go into scores. Surya?
9.
Surya is digging deep. Surya is...
I have a 9 as well.
8. Fantastic. With a score of 26 points out of 30, Eram Scientific edges out its competitors and wins the Sankalp Showdown. We will be showcasing their story in detail in the coming weeks.